Hello and welcome to Impact Leadership. I'm Brother Jackie Cadell, and I am so privileged to be able to host this leadership session that we're going to be doing. And by the way, before I dig in, I want to just tell y'all I'm excited about your responses. You guys are encouraging, and I hope and pray that this is helping you. It sure does help me to hear from y'all. So thank you for making the connection. And as we talk, I'm learning from you guys as well. So give me your thoughts. Love to have you connect with us. I'll tell you how to do that at the end of this. But I've issued some challenges for all of us the last few weeks, and for you to look at your leadership. And I hope that they've been incredibly helpful. But today I want to talk about a subject that I think is critical, and that is Hammerhead Leadership. Now, John Maxwell mentioned this in one of his books, and as I read that leadership book, I thought, wow, that is incredible thoughts. Hammerhead Leadership. Let me ask you this question. Maybe this kind of launch us off in this talk that I'm going to do, and that is this: would others say that you overreact? Are you do you overreact? Are you too hard on the situation? How do you deal? Are you a hammerhead leader? Well, I think a lot of leaders overkill. They get their emotions involved, and they overkill the situation. And I want to give you some thoughts about that. So when tempted to use overkill in situations, I want you to remember the 5 T's. Now, this is important because when we have issues that come up, a lot of times, man, we'll just hammer it down, and we don't think about a lot of the reactions. We don't think about how it's going, the ripple effect. We don't think about that. So are you a hammerhead leader? Do you just, man, I'm gonna fix it and get after it? And you ain't thinking about, you're the guy or the gal that opens a room, throws a grenade in the room, blows everybody up. And you can't do that in leadership. So how do you stop that? I want you to consider these 5 T's. Write them down. First of all, I want you, before you engage in hammerhead leadership, I want you to take a step back and look at the total picture. A lot of times we engage in discipline or correction without looking at the whole picture. I want you to look at the total picture. I wish I had time to talk to you more about that, but I don't in here. But I hope you'll engage in some of the other stuff that I'll be doing that will help you understand that. Look at the total picture. And then second one is timing. There's a right time and a wrong time to deal with issues. A lot of times we just we operate off the cuff. Timing is important. And then tone, how we address issues. If we're angry and mad and we're raising our voice and we're attacking at the wrong time and we hadn't saw the total picture, oh my gosh, that's a recipe for a disaster. And then the temperature. Make sure you don't deal with issues when you're hot. You're angry. Your temperature is up here. You're in the red zone. Don't do that. Calm down. That's right. Look at the total picture. Think about the timing. Think about the tone you're addressing things. Think about your temperature. Take a breath. Calm down. And then technique. How do you deal with issues? There's a lot to talk about with that, but technique is essential in dealing with those kind of things. So those are some T's I want you to talk about. And then, so think about this for a minute. I know this sounds like you're going, Brother Jackie, you really want me to do that? Yes, I do. Learn to develop a softer touch with people. Now, you say, now, Brother Jay, I'm a leader. If I do that, they're going to think I'm a pushover. No, they're not. When you're developing a softer touch with people, this is what I mean by that. You may want to write this down. Learn, talk to people, not at people. Talk to people, not at people or about people. Sometimes when we're caught up in the emotion of all this, we'll talk to people, not at people. We got to learn to talk to them, not at them. a lot of times in the Hammerhead Leadership, we'll talk at the people or about people. Talk to people. There's a difference. And then let the past stay in the past. Hey, when you're thinking about leadership, if you're in the heat of the moment, you'll bring up all the past. You can't do that. You're dealing with this issue. Let the past stay in the past. And then ask yourself this question: is your reaction part of the problem? A lot of times as a leader, when you're confronting issues, how you react to the issue can add fuel to the fire, and it's part of the problem. And remember that actions are remembered long after words are forgotten. How you treat people, how you act in these things. They'll remember how you act. They won't remember your words. They'll remember that you were a snob or not. You got to make sure that you understand that. And then never let the situation mean more than the relationship. Situations are situations. But remember, you're a leader to build relationships that's going to produce positive results. And situations are situations, but never let the situation mean more than the relationship. And remember the golden rule. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. Talk to people like you want to be talked to. Demonstrate actions like you would want actions demonstrated to you. That's important. Now, this is important in how you deal with situations. Remember that if you must reprimand, use the reprimand rule. Take 1 minute and then it's over. Don't just keep harping on it. That's the reprimand rule. Take a minute, deal with the issue, and move on. Don't keep harping on it. If you keep harping on it, it's a negative thing. And never, listen, this is a great thought when you're talking to people. Never use a hammer to swat a fly off someone's head. You don't want to crush people. You don't want to use a hammer to knock a fly off people. Don't do that. You don't use a hammer to swat a fly off people's head. And a lot of times what I've found out in leadership is a lot of times it starts off as a gnat or a fly that's aggravating and it's an issue. Don't hammer that. You don't do that. You'll kill the person. You'll destroy the relationship, all that. Don't use a hammer to swat a fly off someone's head. If it's a gnat, deal with it like a gnat. Don't deal with it like it's a monster. There's so much to talk about in how we deal with other people. And I hope these things are helping you. I'd love to hear from you on these thoughts. If this spoke to you, I want to get your response. So please connect with us. I'm sure you know someone who can share this YouTube link with somebody else. Stay up to date with us by linking with us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Love for you to be a part of that. Man, we're learning together from each other. And I want to just let you know, you're not average. I believe that about you. You are not average. You're learning to be an excellent leader. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.